Hello you guys. Okay, so welcome back to another video, and for today I thought it would be really interesting because last week I did an unpopular Glee opinion video, so I thought it would be really interesting to do this but in the sense of daycare and like childcare, nannying, babysitting, all that kind of stuff. So this is a video of unpopular childcare opinions, and I put childcare because, you know, between nannies and daycares and just babysitters, we all have different opinions. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Teresa and I do videos about braces, acting slash theater, childcare. I was like, there's one more I am missing. And so if any of that interests you, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And I post every single weekend, so to make sure you get videos. So to make sure you get the notification, please hit the bell button down below as well. Okay? Okay, cool. Let's get this started. So, interesting enough, there was a couple of opinions on Reddit, and I thought it was kind of interesting, and some of them were really, really true. Like, I felt them in my soul. So, okay. So the first one is, if you treat your nanny like trash, you don't care about your children. So at first I was like, no, I don't agree with that. But then I read the bottom half of the post and it made sense to me. And as far as what I can recall and what I can remember is, it's basically saying, like, if you get somebody who's not that good of a nanny, like you kind of just get them because you need somebody, then you aren't giving your child the best provider. And that's very true. And then I read a lot of response to that post, and a lot of people were saying that families did not value them. And so yeah, it was just kind of a sad post, but I thought, like, you know, honestly, like, that's true once you read into the rest of the post. So the next one is, if you're a parent and you can't afford a babysitter, you can't afford to go out. Preach. Preach. This is so true. So a couple of years ago, somebody had posted on a really popular Facebook group about me babysitting. It was somebody I knew, and said, Teresa will practically do this for free. And then the comment section just ended up being a whole, like, payment argument. And my rate is $10 an hour. It doesn't matter how many kids, it's just an hourly wage. And so many people who, by the way, didn't even hire me as a babysitter, complete strangers, didn't know them, so many people attacked me, and they're like, oh my god, $10 an hour, like, that's a lot. And I think the reason why they were saying that was because so many people assume, like, a daycare and a babysitter are the same thing. And then people also assume that a nanny and a babysitter are the same things, where literally all three of those things are completely different things, and we need to teach people the difference, because obviously that goes into what you're going to pay somebody. So, and then I even said at one point too, which goes into what this is saying, I said, you know, if you can't afford $10 an hour for a babysitter, then, like, you really don't afford to go out. You know, I mean, so much other things. Like, if you go to a movie here with two people, like, that's probably $15 right there for just movie tickets. And then you add snacks, and you add whatever else, you know, a dinner, you know, that's a lot more money. So truth, like, just truth. Okay, the next one is, just because someone has a relative does not mean they should be obligated to babysit your kids for free. So I kind of agree with this one, and I also kind of disagree. if you're working, you should get paid for what you're doing. But if you are a relative, if you're babysitting for like a relative, I do feel like you could at least like give them a discount or something, whatever the heck a discount means in the world of childcare. Um, just offer them like a cheaper price. I always tell people like if you want free or cheap care, go to a relative. And it depends who you're defining as relative. A grandparent will do it for free. My grandparents watched me growing up. We never paid them for their time. They were retired by the time we came along, my siblings and I. So, yeah, and I know like aunts or like godmothers probably would do it for free. Um, so, yeah, I do think you should get some kind of compensation, but, you know, maybe make it a bit cheaper because they're families. So, yeah, that's just my opinion. Okay, this one. Bottles and pacifiers should be discarded after 1 year. Yes, I 100% agree with this, and this is mainly because of just their mouths developing. So, if a child is constantly with a pacifier, their teeth, it's really obvious, but their teeth and their jaw kind of make like a little round arch in the center, like these teeth, and then same with like the bottom, it's like a low arch type thing, and it's clear that they've had the pacifier for too long. And I worked in a daycare with 2-year-olds as my first like official real job, and I can just tell you like pacifiers after a year should be gone because the amount of meltdowns that we had in our classroom just because we took pacifiers away was unreal. Like some of those kids that didn't have that bad of a tantrum to begin with had terrible tantrums when we took pacifiers away. So yes, it also mentions bottles. So I don't know how many parents out there like give their kid a nightly bottle after like a year, but I just think that should go away too because to me, a 1 year old is a toddler. It's not a baby. To me, that is a young toddler. So, yes, I feel very, very strongly about that. And the thing is, too, with like their mouth development, it can be if they have a pacifier or they're still taking bottles, it can like cause them to need braces later on. And the thing is, so many people are misinformed about braces. So I have braces, and it's not just about your actual teeth lining up. It's also about your jaw and how it's developing, and the alignment of your jaws fitting together perfectly. So if you can avoid potentially getting braces on your child or, you know, potential like surgery, like jaw surgery, ditch the bottle and pacifier after a year. That will help a lot. So I really agree with that. Kids should be on schedules. Yes, I've only watched probably like one or two families that didn't have their kids on a schedule. And I know one family for sure did not have their children on a bedtime schedule, an actual like bedtime and stuff for them, which for them I guess was okay because they usually passed out about the same time, which was probably like 9 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock. And so I agree. Kids need that structure. They need to know what's going to come next in the day. Um, for your sanity, especially if you're dealing with kids, all day long. Like, yeah, they need a schedule. And I think during this time of COVID, like parents are really figuring that out that their kid needs schedules and they need structure. So, yes, 100%. Kids should be sleep trained for bedtime and nap time, which I guess sleep trained that would cover both things. So, absolutely, I am 100% for sleep training children. I think they need to learn how to fall asleep on their own because honestly, at the end of the day, mom and dad or child care provider isn't always going to be there. And I know somebody that was held the entire time when they were a baby, and it caused a lot of problems later on down the road of they couldn't sleep in their own bed. They needed to have an adult person to sleep in their bed until like the age of 12. So yes, I just think sleep training it's beneficial for the kids, it's beneficial for you because you actually get sleep. You can predict when they're going to take a nap, how long that's going to be for, so you can plan accordingly what you want to do with that time. Yeah, I just think kids need to learn to be self-soothers and put themselves to bed, because I just get so frustrated when I have an infant and I, take them upstairs and I'm literally, or wherever their crib is at, I take them to put them down, and then literally the second they hit that mattress, they're awake. And you're like, no, you need to go to bed. So, yes, 100%. Okay, two more left. It's okay for babies to fall asleep on you. I think if they're super, super young, it's okay to let them fall asleep on you. But definitely after like 3, 4 months, they need to be not sleeping on you. The problem I had with one of the babies I watched was her bottle was very soothing to her, just like really any baby. And if I held her too close, she would fall asleep on me, creating problems that would arise when I actually put her down. And so it was kind of mean, but I had to have her far away from my body and just like in the mouth, the bottle, you know, whatever. And it kind of like looked terrible, but I had to. And anytime she like fell asleep, I moved the bottle in her mouth, or I kind of like gave her a gentle little shake to wake her up. So I don't think it's okay for babies to fall asleep on you after the age of like 3 to 4 months. Um, again, just my opinion. And the last thing is, it's okay to put a child in underwear once they have no accidents at home. Okay, so again, going back to when I was in a daycare for the first time, we had so many parents. Our age group was the age group to be potty trained, and so we just had a bunch of first time parents, obviously, because if you have 2-year-olds, you probably don't have another baby. Um, Generally, we potty trained them, and then once the children were not having accidents at home, they wanted to try at daycare, or some people put their kids in underwear during daycare hours, and it was just literally awful. We threw away so much underwear. Parents would get mad at us because it was just soiled. Like, there was no way you were going to save the underwear with the kind of explosions and stuff they were having. So yeah, no, I just feel like parents put their kids in underwear way too freaking early in life. And a really good trick that somebody told me was that with their own kids, what they did was their children wore the underwear, but they also wore a pull-up over that. And then that way the children got used to the feeling of having underwear on. But if something were to happen, then the pull-up would take care of the rest. So I thought that was really good. Oh, the stories I could tell with that. So anyways, that is all of the unpopular opinions. I hope you guys liked that video. I thought some of these were really interesting. The first 1, 2, 3 were from Reddit, so I thought those were really interesting. Let me know, do you guys agree with those opinions? Do you guys not? Let me know down below. And I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. It really helps me out, because then I can kind of get a feel of what you guys like to see on this channel, what you guys don't like to see. And yeah, I guess I said everything in the beginning, but I'll say it one more time. I post every single weekend. I post acting videos, braces videos, childcare videos every single weekend. And so if you liked any of that, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications as well. And I will talk to you guys all later. Bye!